now settled after yet another Premier League defeat for Tottenham Hotspur, this time against arch rivals Chelsea. And the aftermath from this game was monumental. More and more pressure is now on top of Ange Postecoglou. It's looking like he is undoubtedly going to be sacked by Tottenham Hotspur sooner rather than later. But with a big week ahead and the Europa League in contention, today on the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, I'm going to be revealing the truth about Ange Postecoglou. But before we go any further, if you are new to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel, then drop us a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and also leave your comment down below. What did you make of Ange's outburst? So yeah, it's been utterly a crazy 48 hours since that Chelsea defeat, because it's just imploded. The Tottenham fan base are at their wits' end if they weren't already, but the conversations that have followed, that result and, the talk about Ange Postecoglou's future at Spurs has been nuts. It's really, spiraled out of control. A lot of Spurs fans have now given up on Ange Postecoglou, like myself, and that's where I want to start, because I had a comment actually saying that I hated Ange since the beginning, which it's not the case. That is not the case whatsoever. And a lot of people saying that what I'm doing now is for clicks and for bait. I'm just going to lay it all out there. I really backed Ange Postecoglou at the beginning and last season and going into this season, because there was a lot of promise. There was a lot of, good stuff to look at. We had a good body of what was possible. But this season, due to injury and other circumstances, I don't think Ange Postecoglou has helped himself, and I don't think it has worked. And many people say, give him more time, give him more money and backing. He has been backed, he has been given money, and he has been given time. But where we currently sit in the Premier League is not good enough. And I've mentioned all before that it is a Daniel Levy problem, like Tottenham Hotspur in general. But this season, it's hard not to blame Ange. I don't see how you can't blame Ange, because, even with our strongest side, even with all the players back from injury, it's not good enough. And I said this in my reaction video to the game the other night, that the defence, the midfield and the attack are not aligned. I believe he's been found out, Ange Postecoglou, because that Spurs team on paper is better than where it is currently in the Premier League table. I believe that, because I think what has happened is we had those first 10 games where Ange was undefeated and it worked and it was a proper Ange ball style. It's not that anymore, because he can't handle more than one game per week. He can't handle, the squad rotation doesn't work. If he hasn't got his perfect squad, he doesn't have his perfect Ange ball, and we can't, because the amount of injuries and the, gripes and, stuff like that from the players, it isn't going to work. And watching that game against Chelsea, it goes to show that it's just never going to work. It's just never going to work, because the players aren't even trying anymore for the manager. And I know that's me saying it, but you can just see it. You can see it on the pitch. They might say something different, about, it's training, we are backing him and all that, but it's not. It's not working whatsoever. And some people say, well, keep him on, give him a longer chance. But, his reaction after the game sums up that he has lost all faith. And I actually am going to talk about this next, because I want to throw us back to, what Ange said after this game and what Antonio Conte said after the Southampton game a few years back, because we can draw a lot of similarities and a lot of differences between both of them, and both raise some different points, which I think are key to highlight. But before we go any further, nearly 80% of you watching this right now are not subscribed to the Sonny Talk Spurs YouTube channel. What are you doing? What are you doing? I know it's a negative and bad season for Spurs, but there isn't a better time to get on board and enjoy some beautiful Tottenham Hotspur content. I do positive videos, don't worry about that. So yeah, as I say, get down below, subscribe and hit that notification bell, because that's the most important thing, because it'll tell you when I've gone live and react to matches. But yeah, that's enough of that. Let's get on with these clips.
So I guess part of your issue then, or a big part of your issue, is the delay. But do you think that decision's wrong?
Look, Pat, you can try and force me into a corner.
I'm not trying to force you into anything.
You are. Did you think last night was a red card? Was it clear and obvious? Yes. Okay. How many minutes did it take this referee to figure out whether it's clear and obvious? In your just basic knowledge of human, vocabulary, clear and obvious, what does that suggest to you? That on the first replay, is that clear and obvious? If you have to watch something quite a few times, is that clear and obvious?
No, it's maybe not clear and obvious. I do think it's a foul, if I'm honest.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. So there you go. So the referee didn't see it. He then needs to see it for 6 minutes, but you get the right outcome, so you're happy, and that's why the game's going the way it is. And I guess people like you will continue to be happy sitting on your couches waiting for 6 minutes for clear and obvious stuff. That's fine. I don't agree with it, but that's fine.
Fine.
I know his phone. It's blank, but I'll keep using it, right? Sorry, but if somebody says to you, right, Tom, that was a good article last night, but I don't like that point you made. You go, okay, mate, and you might just walk off. If somebody says, hey, Tom, I didn't like that article, what do you think they're trying to achieve? No, hold on a second. No. Reciprocal question. Let me answer it. What I think they're trying to achieve, they're not really interested in an answer to a question. They just want a reaction. They want their 5 minutes of fame because that's what this gives them. And that's what I was talking about, right? For young people, this is more dangerous than any other weapon in the world as far as I'm concerned. And so if I don't pull up, especially young kids, who put up a phone to my face, then what's stopping them doing that in the schoolyard? What's stopping them doing that in general life and bullying people? Because it's a bullying mechanism. It's not criticism. Like I said, if you think that after almost 30 years in the game that I've received abuse from from the first day, of course, I don't react to that. But if somebody's holding up the phone, I will react to it because I won't accept it. It's incredible how things get interpreted. We just scored. I just wanted to hear them cheer because, I mean, we've been through a tough time and I thought it was a cracking goal and I wanted them to get really excited because I felt at that point we could potentially go on and win the game. I just felt momentum was on our way. It doesn't bother me that it's not the first time they've booed my substitutions or my decisions. That's fine. They're allowed to do that, but we just scored a goal. We just scored an equaliser. I was just hoping that we could get some excitement. People want to read into that somehow I'm trying to make a point about something. I said I felt, we've been through a tough time, but I just felt there was a bit of a momentum shift there, and if they get really behind the lads, I thought we had the momentum to finish on top of them.
Support of your fans and keeping them on side. They seem to be some chants from the away end about your substitution of Bergvall, who's 19 years old. He's played 23 games this season. Sarr comes on, appears to score. I think you cup your ears to the fans. What's your message about what you're trying to do?
It's amazing how things get misinterpreted. I just wanted to hear them cheer, we just scored a goal and I wanted to hear how loud they could be, and I don't care what people, it's not the first time my substitutions get booed. We scored a cracking goal and I wanted them to get excited, and that's what I was listening for. So
if they want to continue in this way, they can change manager, a lot of manager, but the situation cannot change. Believe me. You try to find alibi or an excuse for the players. Okay, continue to do this. To find excuse for the players. You do only this. Excuse for the players. Yeah, but the players maybe my future, and then okay, they lost confidence, they lost spirit, they lost to be a team. Excuse. Try to protect every time. They don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. Yeah, it's easy in this way. And Tottenham story is this: 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club or for every manager that stay here. And now, until now, I try to hide the situation, but now no, because I repeat, I don't want to see what I have seen today, because this is unacceptable. Also for the respect for the fans. They follow us, pay the tickets. There are 10 games to go, and something thinks that we can fight. We can fight for what? With this spirit, with this attitude, with this commitment. For what? For the 7th, 8th place, 9th place? I'm not used to this position. It's time to change the situation if Tottenham wants to change. If they want to continue in this way, they can change manager, a lot of manager, but the situation cannot change, believe me.
So these are quite interesting because a lot of Spurs previous managers, including Mourinho and Conte, when they had their big, rant and left in dramatic effect, it was mainly aimed at Daniel Levy and the ownership and the mentality of Spurs. There was a few digs at players, which is, obvious. But Ange is really, it was probably the final nail in his coffin already. A lot of Spurs fans that have backed him have probably given up now because of how he's reacted to the fans. And we've got to remember, this has been a long time coming. Ange Postecoglou has got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. I've applauded the way he's got to this job because, he's done the hard graft over 60 years of his life. He's gone from managing in Australia to managing in Asia to managing in Scotland and now in the biggest league in the world, the Premier League. So I applaud him for that, and he's achieved a lot. But there's a couple of things he's done this season which have raveled him. It started actually last season. He's had a couple altercations with fans, and I'll put these videos on screen now. He had a go at a fan at the Fulham game. He had a go at some away fans. He also had a go to some supporters behind him, and at the Tamworth game as well, I think he was having a go at someone. So there's a couple of times he's done that. He also called out the Tottenham fans after and during the Manchester City game, where Arsenal could have won the league and people were saying we should throw it. And he had a reaction like this.
The last 48 hours has revealed to me the foundations are fairly fragile, mate, so... How do you mean? That's what I feel. I just think that's, like I said, the last 40 hours has revealed a fair bit to me, and that's all right. That just means I've got to go back to the drawing board with something. Outside, inside, everywhere. It's been an interesting exercise. It's just my observations, mate. I'm not going to tell you because it's for me. I'm the one that's got to do it. So, you can make your own fairly accurate assessment of what's happened. And I understand I probably misread the situation as to what I think is important in your endeavour to become a winning team, but that's okay. That's why I'm here. It is what it is, mate. I can't dictate what people do. They're allowed to express themselves any way they want. But yeah, when we've got late winners in games, it's because the crowd's helped us.
So when you're already doing that, you're not really getting the fan base on board in that regard, even if you are winning. But when you're not getting results as well, it's pushing them apart. And he did it again after the Chelsea game. He was cupping his ear, this whole situation. I've talked about it before. He, cupped his ear apparently after Sarr's goal because, I put it in the intro as well. Spurs away fans subbing Bergwijn off for Sarr, saying you don't know what you're doing. And Ange cupped his ear as if to say, look at that. And since then he's backtracked and said he didn't mean it like that. He was just celebrating the goal. But you're not fooling anyone, Ange. I mean, come on. If you think that's what it was, then you're foolish. So that's the real truth about Ange Postecoglou. He's lost. He's lost the dressing room. He's lost the fan base. And basically, we're waiting till we're getting knocked out of the Europa League because he's not going to win it, is he? Like, come on, we're being serious right now. That Chelsea team is not a good Chelsea team. Frankfurt are quite good this season. And I fancy them to beat us. But even if we get any further, Athletic Bilbao, Lazio, Manchester United, Lyons, all those teams that are still in it will beat us as well. So there's no doubt about that. And you guys, I want you to let me know in the comments down below this very important question. When Ange Postecoglou is sacked by Tottenham Hotspur, which club will he manage next? Because I had this debate earlier in a few group chats. Can Ange Postecoglou get another top tier job? Because I don't think he's good enough to manage in the Premier League. I don't think he's good enough to manage in maybe, La Liga, the Bundesliga, Serie A, Ligue 1. I could maybe see him at Ligue 1 or just a mid-table European team, or maybe, Portuguese league or something like that. I don't think he's good enough. I don't know what team picks him up anymore. I mean, let me know in the comments down below if you've got any teams you think he could go and improve. Could it be a Marseille? If De Zerbi leaves, could it be a mid-table Bundesliga team? I can't see it because I don't think he's good enough. He definitely wouldn't get a Premier League job. I mean, someone said Southampton as a joke, who I messaged earlier, because it's that sort of same fit. But yeah, I don't think he's good enough for a top job. I heard people saying he's an elite coach still. I don't think so. He's not shown that this season. But that's what I think in regards to that. But yeah, Ange Postecoglou, he's got issues, hasn't he? Like when it comes to the way he reacts in press conferences. The funny thing is, he's very defensive, isn't he? He's very defensive when it comes to that stuff. But shame his football isn't a little bit defensive, because we get carved open the same. We don't keep clean sheets, and the attacking football's dried up. The top players look disinterested. Maddison, Solanke, Son. They just look all poor, and it doesn't fit the system. So that's why I think he should be sacked. He will get sacked. And, you know, the reaction the last couple of days from this, many people calling him out and saying they've had enough.
Hello, Jim. I listen to TalkSPORT all the time. I have it on in the background, so I listen to sports.
Excellent.
All the shows. But what I will say is I'm fuming. I'm fuming that what Troy said is true and what Alex says is true. And I usually lean to more what Troy says and not what Alex says, because I feel that Alex has
you sound like a smart man, Stephen. You sound like a smart man.
Listen, I don't have a dislike to Tottenham. I have no feeling one way or another to Tottenham.
So what's your thinking, Stephen?
Let me explain that. Alex, every week, all season, has called out Tottenham. When we were drawing with Leicester, he called out. And when Troy mentions these players, I genuinely believe if Conte had finished that season, we would have got European football. And I believe that with these players now, we would not be 16th. I am with Troy. The culture of this football club, from Daniel Levy, we've got a lot of new people to football. So Scott Munn, who now runs Tottenham, he used to be in rugby. He's been running clubs in Asia for the Man City group. But people just see the Man City group. So then you've got all these inexperienced people. None of them have guided a football club and built a squad, apart from Paratici, who's banned. Yeah. So what Spurs are at the moment, yeah, is what we can expect. We've got a manager from the SPL. Yeah. We've got a failed sporting director. Look at this. Johan Lange, yeah, who brings in all the players that people are unhappy about at this minute, yeah, he was asked to leave from Aston Villa because they were 15th. They weren't, because Aston Villa were spending the money where they should have been more competitive in the league.
Well, briefly, Stephen, you're giving us a background. You're fairly forensic in what you're giving us in terms of detail. Do you still back Ange?
No, Jim, and I'll end it on this. We're not going to go anywhere because, like Troy said, those players need a leader. He either needs to be a manager like Simeone or someone on the pitch. Ain't got it, yeah? Then you need a coach, yeah, who's going to coach. Ange doesn't coach the players. Yeah, and then you need a sporting director. The sporting director that Troy probably had at Watford is more experienced and more adept at buying players. Because when Troy was at Watford, they were in the Premier League every season on a shoestring budget. The footballing people. You need footballing people.
Got you, Stephen.
In our defence, we had 7 in.
Matt, first up, big Tottenham fan. You've got the platform. What do you want to say? Good morning.
Hello, guys. Great show.
Thanks, Matt.
Troy, it's the first time I'm talking with you, fella. To be honest, mate, out of all the times that I've been on talkSPORT, you are the only person that actually tells it as it is. You know,
I was waiting for you to hammer me there, I'm not going to lie. So thanks, mate. I appreciate that.
Mate, honestly, I've heard Jamie O'Hara, Cundy, I've heard them all.
Never mind about them, Matt. How is it then? You tell us how it is.
Mate, the reality is we have a cancer at our football club that's caused this problem. Every single person blames Ange. Now, Ange, we know, isn't really the right manager for Spurs. But the bottom line is, this man's been put in to do a job. Any single person out there, I don't care if you're an electrician or whatever you are, if you're put in to do a certain job, and you've been told that you're going to be supplied with certain amount of tools, the certain way that you want it, and you don't get it, everybody, doesn't matter what you're doing, will end up being disheartened and end up giving up. Now, if you're in Ange's position, what do? Do you walk? Because let me be honest with you, mate. With the pride that any individual has, you'd want to walk away. But you know when you've got like $100,000 a week and you're going to get a payoff like that, are you stupid enough to walk away from the job? You're just going to keep getting pelters. And the guy's digging his own grave in terms of cupping his ear and saying Spurs fans wanting to lose to Man City. You know, obviously the guy's now at a stage that anything goes. He just wants to get out of the football club, which I don't blame him. But do you blame the man to having a team? And I don't care what anybody says to me. Having a captain like Song at your football club at 32 that huddles the players on the pitch and tells them we got to do this, we got to do that, and then disappears for 90 minutes. This is what you get when you get Daniel Levy running this football team, because when he runs this football team, and I hope he listens to this, because he is the biggest problem of my football club, and I've said it on your show tons and tons of times. We are the joke of football, let alone in Premier League. We are the joke. He has made us a joke. They've given us a name, Spursy, because of Daniel Levy, the way he runs this football team. He gets everything on the outside, like Conte says. He gets it. He protects the outside.
Yeah, but Matt, here's the thing, Matt. You won't be a joke if you win the Europa League, will you?
Jim, mate, fella, do you honestly think, are you on this planet, mate? Do you honestly think?
I feel as if I am.
Matt, I hear your frustration.
You love the
right?
passion.
I can
You
hear
love
the
the
passion. I think my concern is where next? Because Spurs are running a profitable company, right? So the ownership's not going to change.
Let's go to Mark, who's a Spurs fan. Mark?
Mark.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Oh, Mark, tell me, what is going on?
Mate,
is it time to go for Ange? Has he got to go?
I don't really know about that. I mean, it's a tough one, isn't it? It's a tough one.
Well, I don't know if it's a tough one. It's not tough. It's not a tough decision to make, is it? We lost 16 games.
Listen, even if we win Europa, what are we going to do next year anyway? We don't look good all over the pitch. We look like a bunch of schoolboys out there tonight. Let's have it right.
Yeah, I know.
I've got to say quickly though, I always had a poster of Jason Cundy on my wall when he played for Tottenham when I was a
No,
kid.
you didn't.
I did, mate.
No,
yeah,
you didn't.
Obviously,
We didn't even do posters of Cundy.
Listen, boys, on a serious note, I want to ask you guys. You both played for Tottenham, yeah?
Don't ask me. Ask him. Ask him.
You both played for Tottenham. I watch a lot of podcasts and things, and obviously, you know, I hear a lot from John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, people like that.
Yeah.
The DNA in football clubs at that time was winning was everything. Losing was not an option.
Yeah.
You both played for Tottenham. What was the vibe around the club at that time? And going forward, is that what we're missing? Honestly, guys, you know.
Well, I think it is now, but
we've got a winning mentality.
Well,
you know?
I don't, when I was there, I disagree with that because we got to 2 cup finals. We won the Carabao Cup. We was trying to fight. You know, it was in the Europa League. The standard was set. You know, to win the Europa. You know, there was good moments at Tottenham, and I think there was a different. But they had players on the pitch like Robbie Keane and Berbatov and Modric. You know, like Genius.
Yeah, but they left, didn't they? They left.
Yeah, no, they left, and now I feel like it's a completely different Spurs team. I don't look at this Spurs team and think that there's a mentality there that we're going to go and rock up to Stamford Bridge and get a result. I don't see it. There's no men. There's no leaders. It's just they're out there. They're playing for themselves, and you know the manager looks lost on the sideline. You know, just feel like we're all over the place.
Oh, he's totally out. He looks totally out of it. I mean, I love Ange. I do really want to support him.
Why do you love him? No, sorry. Why do you love him?
No,
but why do you love him? Why? Why do you love him? What's he done?
I love the way he deals with the media.
What do you mean?
He's good.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's good.
In the out, but
he deals with the media terrible.
No, he does. He's good.
He gives the media nothing. He come in, had 10 good games, and all of a sudden he's laughing with Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher. And everyone thought he was like the Messiah. Like, do me a favour. His interviews are terrible. He argues with talkSPORT with Sam Matterface and that. He gives you nothing in interviews.
He's good, Jay.
Yeah, but then you see all the players on the pitch, patting everyone on the back, laughing and joking. I mean, really, if you're going to lose a game like that, I'll be walking off the pitch.
It's a myth, mate. It's a myth.
Really?
It's a myth. This manager, any other manager at Tottenham Hotspur would have got the sack. He would have been gone. We've lost 16 games.
We can't get
every team around us has sacked their manager. Every single team has sacked their manager around us. Every one of them. And we're still there with Ange.
Who do you think we get in then? Who's coming in?
Mate, honestly, I reckon I could take over and do a better job. Seriously.
Go for it.
No, genuinely, seriously.
Jay, do it. Do it.
Like, you can't just keep someone in because you go, who are we going to get in? What do you mean? It's Tottenham Hotspur. You can get a good manager. There's plenty of managers out there.
Tadarius to do.
I really don't know who else.
Tadarius to do, though.
We've got this Scotland manager who's done the business up in Scotland with the biggest budget and the best players and played a style of football which was easy when he's playing against St Mirren and
He's
Kilmarnock.
not enough time.
All of a sudden, he had 10 good games at the start when he rocked up because
what are you doing?
We was in a hole, and now all of a sudden everyone loves him still. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
What's he done? He's done nothing. He's done nothing.
Yeah, even you backed him then. Everyone was backing him. It looked good at the start.
All right, well, that's 18 months ago. Now look at the state of us.
Yeah, of course it is. I'm totally behind you on it. But at the end of the day, I think maybe we need to give him another season.
Yeah, another season.
Do me a
no,
favour.
Jay, let him talk.
Mark,
let him talk, Jay.
Mark,
Jay.
are you joking? I'll retire if Ange gets another season at Tottenham.
Jay, let him go on.
We've had a lot of injuries this
a lot of injuries.
Oh, go away, mate. I'm sick. There's no more excuses. Mark, there's no more excuses, mate. No more excuses. There is full team out tonight. Full team out. Still terrible.
We've had top managers in there. I am saying, I'm going back to what I said. Is it the DNA of the club, the winning mentality?
Terrible DNA. There is no DNA. The DNA is losing. That's what our DNA is. Losing mentality.
Dare is to do is your DNA.
Oh, shut up, James.
It's not even dare is to do.
Just remind yourself that you're very close to me in the studio.
To dare is to do.
Yeah, you're very close.
Well, listen,
one jab.
He's not been allowed to dare, and then when he dares, he's going to do it.
Whooping.
That's what I reckon.
The DNA throughout the club. I've heard stories when the brother walked into Chelsea, he was like, bang, we are winners. That's it, end of story. I don't see that.
Well, you still love Ange. Do me a favour.
Ange in.
Let's see. 03717 223344.
Andrew's a big Tottenham fan. Andrew, good morning. What would you like to say?
Good morning. Good morning to you all. Thank you ever so much for the opportunity. Now, look, Daniel Levy is a good person, and he runs a professional outfit at Tottenham Hotspur. I'm tired of all these people phoning up with hatred. There's too much in the world. We were only ever a cup side, and I remember watching Alan Brazil run down the wing. So that's how long I've been supporting them, and he was fast. Now, if you are pragmatic about this, and if Alex could phone someone at Coral, there are 4 competitions that you're in each year. What are the chances, bet-wise, of you winning something like that? And it's very little. Tottenham Hotspur fans, if you want to contribute, pay 10 times what you pay now for your ticket. Because we are living off somebody else's money. We go and watch it, enjoy the football, grow up. And Ange, he's Australian. They're impossible. So his dash attitude is how Australians are. That's just the way it is. The results at the end of the season will show us whether he's good or bad. And you're right, all of you, 16 losses. At the end of the season, you would wash that up and say, thanks, we move on. But let's just support him and drive forward. The hatred and past is pathetic.
Andrew, you put the P in pragmatism. I mean, you are accepting of the current state of affairs. Does it all change if you win the Europa League?
That would be a real positive. But remember, we all know people. We're older now.
Yeah.
We know somewhere in a hospital now today, someone has been told they've got cancer. Think about that.
Yeah, I know.
There isn't any of those people.
It's a fair point, Andrew.
Any of those people that wouldn't swap position to sit in the stands for the next 3, 5, 8 years. So just enjoy it. Don't vilify the man. He's trying his best. It is what it is. Wash it up. Move forward.
That's quite a call. Yeah, that's quite a call, Andrew. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the sentiment as well.
Yeah.
Because it does bring us to a grinding halt. And we do think about something like Andrew's just spelled out.
I agree. And it opens up another argument that I've had with Tottenham fans on this programme. And again, I've got no axe to grind with Spurs. But obviously a big bugbear of theirs is that they don't win silverware. In my lifetime, they've never really won silverware. You know, they've not been a team who challenge for honours.
Sure.
But there's a difference between not challenging for the Premier League title, maybe not winning the Europa League, and losing 16 games over the course of a Premier League season. They're better than that.
GJ, you heard David moments ago. Sorry, I should say Andrew. David's waiting as well. I'm going to go to you, GJ. We'll be brief with this because we've got so many calls. What do you want to say? Good morning.
Who, is this me?
It is you.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I was just going to say, I've been supporting Spurs since '87, and Ange is by far the worst manager we've ever had. Crook is right. I can't stand him. I can accept him being bad, but his arrogance is insane, right? Jose Mourinho's arrogant, but he's earned the right to be. right? It's like in golf. Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus can be arrogant. They've won 15 majors, 18 majors, you name it. But someone like, let's say, Ian Poulter, he calls himself the postman because he always delivers, but when it's major time, he drops all of his letters on the floor, right? Right? So what I'm saying is, as Ange, we need to sack him now. And I genuinely mean this, lads, right? Get Jamie O'Hara, if you're listening, get your CV into Levy because you couldn't do any worse.
You lost everything at that point.
You had me until you said
that.
I'm being serious, lads. I'm being serious. He couldn't do any worse. Jamie, it's your boy GJ here, mate. Get Majestic as number 2.
Come on, GJ. That's disrespectful to Ange. That is disrespectful to Ange. Here's David who's going to finish this off for us. And David, I think you're calling in from Sydney, Australia. Hi.
Yeah, a few things. So firstly, Andrew, obviously perspective and pragmatism is the order of the day, and there's more important things in life. But when he makes a comment about, well, why don't we pay 10 times what we should be paying now? Yeah. The highest season ticket and the highest match day ticket is paid by Tottenham supporters, and Daniel Levy is the most well-remunerated chairman in the Premier League. To Alex's point, who I think is a Man United fan, well, if you're a Man United fan, I think we've beaten you twice this season, drawn this season. So your little jibes about open top bus. Bournemouth, Fulham and Palace are ahead of us, so they've far less games than us. And in terms of whether we've really challenged as a club or not, we won the Cup in 81, 82, 84, and we were the record FA Cup holders in 1991.
Yeah, I was born in 82, so I stand by the fact you've never really won anything in my lifetime. And I'm not sure what it's got to do with United, who actually, the worst United team in living memory, are above Tottenham in the table. So you've made your own point there, really.
Well, not really, because the fact of the matter is what we've beaten you twice and drawn once this season, and you're giving it large about Man United being Tottenham this season. That's great.
I'm not giving it large about United at all. I'm asked to give an opinion on Tottenham, and you are dreadful.
Yeah, but no. We are dreadful, but you've got your little jibes in there, and that's fine. And
what little jibes? What, pointing out you've lost 16 games, you lost home to Leicester? Well, they're not jibes, they're facts.
No. Your little jibes about the open top bus and the trophy. I've heard it a million times before.
I'm sure you have.
Great job. Yeah, no, I have.
David, just a quick one, mate. Sorry, so before you go back and forth nonsense, so I'm not really bothered about it. But just with Ange, obviously he gets a lot of stick over here. I think you're calling from Sydney, I believe. So what is the reception to him over there? How is he taken there as opposed to he's over here?
Well, yeah, but the fact of the matter is, right, is that he will not be in charge at the start of next season. So all this talk and debate is all high, but it's not. He's finished. He's done, right?
Yeah.
And he will go the same way as our Portuguese manager, another Portuguese manager, our Italian manager. It makes no difference. You could have CP3O in the dugout. It makes no difference. It stops with Daniel Levy. So to Andrew's pragmatism point again, he's very well remunerated. The fans are charged a lot of money, and it's the same thing every time. And to the players and the leadership group of Son, Romero, who uses Tottenham like a David Lloyd centre so he can play for Argentina, and Maddison, they're not leaders. And Vicario, who I thought since he's come back from injuries played well, last night I thought he was absolutely shocking. So the reality of the situation is this. There's a demonstration Sunday, peaceful demonstration with respect to everyone, and the choice is yours. It's called Change for Tottenham. There's a demonstration on the weekend, on Sunday, before the Southampton game. They've done one already. And if people who exercise their choice to voice their opinion can march and peacefully, that's what we're doing there. And I support that all the way from down here. And you might think, well, you're all the way from Sydney. What do you know about that? I've been going since 1977. My family's been going since 1938. So, Alex, in my lifetime, it is in my blood and beforehand.
David, thank you very much indeed, mate. All the way from Sydney, Australia.
The problem we have is, the big question, I've done a video on this as well, about who could be the next Spurs manager, is this week all the candidates lost. Marco Silva, Thomas Frank and Andoni Iraola, which isn't good, is it? But it does throw up who could be the next Spurs manager. I've done a tier list reacting to them already. I'm on the fence between Iraola and Thomas Frank. But those managers are really good when it comes to speaking to the media. And I just think Ange's just lost it in general, isn't he? Which is a real shame. But yeah, hope you have enjoyed that. Just wanted to lay all my thoughts out and make it clear ahead of the Southampton game. But yeah, if you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. And also stay tuned. I'll be having a video reacting to the Southampton game tomorrow. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Up the Spurs.